What's up, YouTube? It's your boy AyeQ. Listen, let me just say thanks to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the STC fam. Look, in life, it's all about progression. You always got to keep growing in life. So it's wise that you set goals. And the goal for this platform is to get to 150,000 subscribers by December. So if you guys rock with the content, please take the time out right now and show some love and like and subscribe. Do so for your boy right now. All right, let's get into the video.
I think a funny question and probably a good starter question is, what was your first impression of me, if you even remember?
First impression of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember where.
It's probably church.
No, it wasn't. I don't believe it was church.
CSU?
No. Yeah. I remember because I remember telling. I remember. I think Tay asked us about it sometime down the line. Yeah.
Okay.
And my answer, I guess my answer kind of.
I know what you're about
kind of
to
made
say.
him and Kara like
What?
it kind of did a double take at me. So if I'm remembering right, the first impression was at, I think, the church we previously went to. It was having some kind of youth type service, but it was like dressed up, and they were doing a worship night type deal at a hotel. So
I remember
prayer
that
night, something like that. I think that was the first time, or at least the first impression that I can remember. I don't remember seeing you around campus. So that night, I think it was maybe the first time I saw you, but I remember you had on a red dress, but you sung that night, and my first impression was like, oh, she don't really sound that good. And I think that was it. Beyond that, I mean, that was like it. And then I don't think we really met until church then.
Okay.
So that I can remember, my first impression was this girl coming here singing, and she can't even sing like that. My first impression was this girl coming here singing, and she can't even sing like that.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
You know what? I
know some people gonna try to get me in the comments, or
because I hope that my friends and my family and the people that have heard me song, I hope that y'all heard me sing. My bad. For those who have heard me sing before, I hope y'all back me up in the comments or something, because I don't feel like I need to do a show right now to prove that I can sing.
I mean, I would back you up now. I'm just saying that was my first impression. Like, I don't know what song you were singing. I remember you singing low. You were singing low, and it was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God.
So it was a bad song choice.
Maybe it was a bad song choice. Maybe, you were the hoarse and raspy that night. But
can I sing now, husband?
Yeah, like you can sing. Like once we got to the church and like you joined the choir and whatnot, I heard you say, "Oh, okay, she can sing." But that particular night,
a little shaky.
Yeah.
I actually did not remember that night until you brought it up just now. My first impression, I actually remember it more so in church.
Okay.
So I'm like the Morris Chestnut girl. That's what I like. So I'm like the Morris Chestnut girl. That's what I like. And so when I saw you, I was like, oh, he's cute. But it wasn't like, I feel like you like the Shamar more.
We got Shamar Moore coming through the door. We got Shamar Moore coming through the door.
Category, you know. So I was like, oh, he's cute. But it was like, you know, you're not, I wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't be for me. It'll be like, oh, he's cute. You know, I'll shout him out if like a friend was interested. It's like, yeah, I know somebody.
What's going on? Talk to me. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
And then I think like once I got to know you, I like to laugh. So I typically, I think like Paz is like people who make me laugh a lot, like clowns. They typically like the main, they're typically like the center of the room in a sense, because I like to crack up. Very like if that makes sense.
Am I a joke to you?
I'll let you finish because I'm in my head. I'm like, that's not me, really.
Right. We're talking about ideal right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
Well, you was asking first impression to begin with, so you was kind of leading the line down like my first impression of you was like Shamar Moore.
Oh, sorry. I was going to the next part.
Went to the joking, and I'm like, I ain't joking like that.
Oh, okay.
I got a few jokes every once in a while.
It's an evil world we live in.
Wow. Yeah, that was my first impression. I think you were still wearing your earrings in your ears.
Yeah.
At the time, so you still felt like you were cool and stuff. Wow. Yeah, that was my first impression. I think you were still wearing your earrings in your ears.
Yeah.
At the time, so you still felt like you were cool and stuff.
Oh, son, can't open your eyes. Can't you see? Huh?
But you know, you knew your word, so that was like, oh, okay. You know, I wasn't used to seeing a male like speak so openly about God.
In the first
really
impression,
wasn't. Yeah, because I think you probably did. Whether it was word fellowship or you were operating in the play at church. I know it was at church. So in whatever way you were operating, you were speaking.
Okay.
And I just felt like you were a pretty bold individual in that way.
Damn. He don't got a clue in the fucking world. Good luck.
Now, this right here is quite interesting because she's telling him that physically he's not the type that she usually go for. Now, these two are married. And here's the thing, fellas. A woman have to be attracted to you inside out. And it's vice versa. A man have to be attracted to his wife inside out. Okay? Usually when people are only attracted to your inside, they are really attracted to how you make them feel. The benefit there. But as far as they don't lust you. You see what I'm saying? So they only with you because of the benefit that you provide. And relationships like that are very shaky because it's built on shaky grounds.
That's my first impression. Back to like marrying your non-ideal person. I know that I'm like very artsy, optimistic, creative. I've calmed down a lot, but it's very like go off. You tell me something, it's like, oh, let's go. I may not pinpoint everything. At least I didn't before. I'm more of a planner now, but very like in the moment. And then you were like the exact opposite. Very patient.
I guess it transition of how do you end up marrying the person that, you know, ideally is not, well, typically is not the person that you find interest in, or the type of person that you find interest in, or that typically you're not, in a sense, attracted to, I guess. So
Stop it. Get some help.
I guess from I would say one of the first things that has to happen is you come into a maturity of, I think we can like tag team since both of us have like the same story, but one of the first steps I say is you come into a maturity of understanding that relationships, real relationships are more than physical attraction, even though that's what, for most people, that's what brings them together. Initially. But once you're in it, you in the marriage and whatnot, we all know that physical attraction, while it plays a role, you end up worrying, you end up more you end up, I guess I can say, you end up looking for more of somebody's character, and you look towards, their mindset, and you look towards their ability to be the person that you need, right? Be the person that complements you in maybe some areas that you lack.
In order for you to have value in my life, for a crutch is at its best use for a person that's injured. And you're trying to figure out, how come I'm going through this relationship and it seems like everything that I'm dealing with, that's happening in my life, is always something hurtful? Because that person that's in your life, they're only at their best when you're injured.
So playing back on the first impressions, right?
Yeah.
There was a first impression of each other as a person. And then I think we went into a first impression as
like friends.
So while we understand the first impression we had as, oh, this person I just saw, I wouldn't even say met, this person I just saw.
Yeah.
Was there a different first impression stepping into the friendship?
Yeah. I think once we started working out together and I was able to like have conversations with you on a pretty consistent basis, it was like, oh, okay. I got to learn like your mind, like your thought process, the way you thought about life. Started learning, oh, he's equipped like this because of certain things that you went through. And I think it started to put you in a different category versus what I was accustomed to. I mean, you were already like 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, he's extremely, like, you're very mature. And we didn't talk about nonsense. So we actually had like pretty good conversations, even though everybody, made their comments like, oh, y'all working out, y'all doing this. But it's like, no, we genuinely we were just having really good conversations. So yeah, I think at that time it was like, oh, I knew something was different about you, but I wasn't necessarily, it wasn't like a relationship.
Oh man, I don't know how many times I've been friends on a lot of times, bro. A lot of times.
And this is what I'm saying. So basically what she's saying, he healed her. Like whatever she been going through, he was like a breath of fresh air. But he is not her ideal type, and I believe she's not his ideal type neither. Now, a lot of times women get in relationships with men, and I always tell you guys this, especially when a woman is healing, when she's ready to leave the streets, she's going to find a sucker, power up, and eventually return back to the streets. That's just how it goes. So basically what she just described is he helped heal her because she probably got a lot of trauma from the streets.
Yeah.
At that time.
I think the same thing for me. And it's like Miss Erica said when she was kind of, I guess, prepping us for the wedding. She was like, "Oh, it snuck up on y'all." Yeah. It's like, yeah, it actually did.
How? How you? I'm saying, how? Like, talk to me, bro.
Because while we were going to the gym and hanging out, and it was some things going on in life that, you know, I usually don't talk to people, but I felt okay sharing, you know, some of the things. I didn't share like
25%, guys, and then told me to be thankful for the little bit that he shared.
You open up to a woman?
Yeah.
Never. No, never.
When's the last time you think you've opened up to a woman?
We don't.
Your whole life?
Bro, I'm telling you.
No. Oh, no.
If they gonna tell you, you can't.
Because you know why?
But it's a trap.
Because you know why?
I'm trapped like a motherfucker.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because once you do, whenever something go down, they're going to throw it back in your face.
Well, that's why.
That's real.
That's why. So you can't ever.
That's why you cry, because your dad left.
Yeah.
You know, you just ain't opening up to any and everybody. So I shared a little bit, and it's like, you know, be happy that you're getting this, because most people don't get this, you know, so you're a friend.
And I'm like, people always talk to me like, what's wrong with you?
So I guess the impression I had was, oh, cool, she's a good friend, you know. I don't think she's the one, because I didn't see you as, I hate to say it like this, but because I didn't see you as a loudmouth, I was like, that's why I can tell her 20% of what's going on in my life.
Why do you hate to say it like that? That's a good thing. That's a compliment.
Well, if you want to say that, that's fine.
I
didn't see you as a loudmouth.
Thank you.
Because I didn't see you as a loudmouth. That's why you got the 20%. And so from there, it was like, okay, not a loudmouth, so I can tell a little bit. Let's see how she handles this little bit as a friend, you know, not realizing, I guess, what was actually taking place.
Yeah.
So just doing that, and then just hanging out more, and then you kind of end up finding yourself doing things that you wouldn't normally do. So like,
you were showing up, babe.
It was like
you were showing up for everything.
Well, I'm saying I'm still at the part where we was working out in the gym.
When we were friends, you were showing up for everything.
Let me talk about the part when we was in the gym. That's what I mean. I'm getting there.
Let that man speak, lady. See, that's my thing, bro. It tells a lot about how a woman feels about you if she keep cutting you off, bro. There's no way I'm speaking and my wife is steady cutting me off. No way. You can't be my wife. Because respect goes a long way, bro. And these women know exactly what they be doing. All right, I'm doing too much. You know you're doing too much.
Go ahead, babe.
I'm getting there.
All right.
Me tell my side of the story.
Let him tell his side of the story, guys.
What I meant by that was, like, I'm, you know, somewhat, mostly trying to get out of it, a homebody.
Oh, okay.
So saying that, you know, I was the type of person, I go to class, I went to class, I went to work,
church,
went to the gym,
sleep,
church, back home. I wasn't that type who just wanted to hang out and be out with people all the time. That wasn't me. So to find myself like going to the, I think one time we went to the movies after the gym, and I'm like, why am I sitting in the movies with this girl after I just got out of the gym? Like, it was some times where it's like, why am I here right now?
Why are we talking at this time?
This is weird.
Bitch, don't get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable.
But because I was looking at it as a friendship, right? That's what I saw it as. But
I think we were just very comfortable, like, with each other.
Bitch, don't get too comfortable. Better not get too comfortable.
Right.
And even though at the time people were trying to make it more than what it was like, no, we just cool.
Right.
And that's where things get very tricky, fellas. That's why when you deal with a woman and y'all friends, y'all got this homeboy, homegirl type of relationship, that's never a good thing. Whenever your girl is like your best friend, that's never a good thing. Your woman has to lust you, bro. She gotta look up to you. Understand that, because once y'all got this brotherly, sisterly type of this is my best friend, that's how she's gonna see you. Like if you look at the energy between these two, that's how she's coming off. She don't come off like she respect this man. And here's the thing. This man is also a very emotionally weak man. Because as a man, bro, if you choose to be with a woman, not because you're attracted to her, but based on how she make you feel. This guy was pretty structured, right? His life was a bit empty. So then she came along and she was just there. See what I'm saying? Because he was a good guy. He was healing her. So what happened, because his life is so empty, he end up seeing her as a wife, even though he's not really attracted to her, even though she's not really his type. But that's what happens when you get comfortable.
So I think, especially in like today's time, I laugh at like the social media post, and I get sick of specifically like the women. Like he gotta have all this, he gotta do all this, he gotta. It's like, girl, what are you doing? Because I know, even though we proceeded in a relationship, I had a lot of like, when I say for me, baggage was like hurt.
Right.
There was a lot of things I was dealing with, and I told you on our first date, hey, if we're gonna start this, I'm gonna let you know what I'm coming with.
That's what I'm saying. There you go right there. That's why she's with him. He healed her trauma. That's all it really is. But she's not really into him. She's into the benefit of that emotionally. He helped her. So she's like, okay, I got me a husband who is healing me. But the problem is, after she's fully healed, brother, she's going to return back to the streets. I'm just keeping it real. Because she's telling you she's not really into you. Just look at the way how she describes him. He goes to the gym. He don't go out much. He's a homebody.
But I think that actually has strengthened any possible insecurities that we have in our relationship, because it wasn't like this hallmark moment. It wasn't like this. You didn't just look at me and was like, oh, she's fine. So even to this day, knowing that, hey, if there was a lineup, you probably wouldn't be the first person that he picked. But me knowing that is so much more that has.
You mean the lineup today?
Babe, not today. Just let me finish the statement, please. Thank you. If there was a lineup of women based on what your ideal person was, I would not have been the first pick. But because of how much we have evolved and grown together, even if physically somebody else looks better, that does not result in an insecurity of mine, because I know that is so much more than like the physical thing that holds us together to this day. And let's not get it twisted. Now, my husband is fine. You the finest man to me today. We're just talking about, gradually getting here.
Here's the thing.
Now it's time for you to tell me.
Here's the thing.
Ahead, I gave you a compliment. You need to let the people know how you feel, just so they don't get it twisted.
If they get it twisted.
That's a hell of a pause. Here's the problem, yo. You know how they say a woman could grow to love a man? if a man is providing something that a woman likes, she's always going to be around. Whether it's money, whether it's a fun time, whatever she's into, as long as that man provides that, it don't matter how that man looks. Understand that. Because a woman could look at a man and think, okay, he's attractive. 2 minutes later, look at him again and think he's not attractive. So it's all about the benefit that you provide for a woman. She will grow to like the guy that she's not into physically. Understand that, right? Now, for a man, that's the tendency of a man who's a bird. And I got to keep it real. Because, fellas, you all know, we have to, especially a wife, we have to love our wife inside out. Okay? The worst feeling a man could feel is to look at his wife and not think that she's beautiful. Do you understand how stressful a man's life is going to be if every day he comes home from work, his wife is not attractive? It's going to make his day even worse. Think about that, bro. You coming home from a stressful day at work, bro. Your day's stress. You open the door to a woman who is unattractive. It's like, fuck. It's like, damn, this can't be life. And when a man does this, he's lying to himself, okay? Because he's focused on that woman benefit. That's all it really is. And that's a tendency of a bird. A bird will always focus on the benefit of the man. A man should not be focusing on the benefit of a woman. A man have to love his woman, bro. Especially your wife, bro. This right here is sad, man. But please let me know what y'all thought about this. And again, fellas, it's not wise to wife up a woman that you are not attracted to. You have to lust your woman, or else you will be stuck in a very stressful, bitter, ugly relationship. And it's going to be like a partnership. It's going to be like you and this woman got this type of best friend type of, but there's no fire there. There's no lust. She don't look at you and be like, I love that man. You don't look at her and feel like I want to do everything for that woman. Because the reality is this, bro. When you look at a woman and she's beautiful inside out, bro, it motivates you. As crazy as that sounds, it motivates you to wake up and go get it. Because you know you coming home to the woman that you want. But how motivated can a man be if he's coming home to his homegirl? Look, fellas, be wise out here, man, for real.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.